So doing a year in review on my putting green and front yard and all that stuff. This is back in January when I'm mowing the putting green. And it looked really good. This is wintertime. I was probably mowing it at like 5 millimeters or something like this back then. So just moving along, this is like my third season with my putting green and my second season with my McLean. And every time I mow, I always, blow the grass clippings off. That's why I end up with bent grass in my Kentucky bluegrass. So now we're going to get into kind of some of the things I've done here. So with the putting green, in April it was looking good. I haven't really done anything to it. I'm still low and mow, and you can still see a little bit of, it's not necessarily scalping, but you can start seeing the dirt show through because it still needs to thicken up. And then back over here, I just have a terrible spot in this bottom corner down here where I've always had issues. This is May. Wow, as you can see on the thing there. Everything is looking great. I'm mowing it lower. You're getting a lot of sunshine, the temperatures are up. And then comes the end of May, June. I decide to dethatch and sand level it. So I remove the cup, I put a bent grass plug back in it. I had to mow it, trim it down. Got the Sunjo dethatcher out. I prefer the battery operated because I don't like having to pull a cord. And I basically use my Honda lawnmower to suck up all the loose grass and all that stuff. And just really quickly, I just did a sanding, leveling. I put some seed down and I let it go. I let it do its thing. Rolled the seed in, and here it is, July 28th. Looking really good. I just had a good day for a mow. I had the sun in the right spot in the sky. That's how you get these visuals. It's just right time of day and the right reflection off of the grass blades. It doesn't really show because this is like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The sun is straight up, so it doesn't really show the color, but this kind of shows you a little more of the difference in color from cutting. On the left in this one, I'm sorry, I guess that would be the right. You can see the uncut grass is darker than the cut grass. And when you low mow, that's one of the things that happens. You lose that dark green color. When my grass is a 1/2 inch and taller, it's really green. And I think in this picture here, that Kentucky bluegrass hadn't been cut yet. So here's the time lapse of the putting green this year. This is from when I sanded it on. And this is only a week right here. And I planted this Kentucky bluegrass down here pretty much at the same time. And it's going to be a time lapse of it growing there. But the putting green, it's had its ups and downs. I have this bad spot here, which is another issue I had when I did an extension. I've talked about that. And this is just something I'm going to work on. This is kind of one of the reasons I'm trying to think about whether I'm going to just redo the whole thing or I'm just going to put a Kentucky bluegrass strip back in here, because that's what it used to be. It used to be Kentucky bluegrass all up and down here. And I really need a turnaround spot because the putting green goes all the way to the end, to the flower bed right here. And that's just not good for a putting green. You need a spot like this to turn around in when you're mowing. And because I mow both ways, up and down, side to side, I just need something up in this area for an area to turn the mower around, so it kind of tears the putting green up when you turn the mower. So this is getting the current right here, and you just see here as I go on, I really start destroying my putting green with my mower, my McLean. So this right here is from the bed knife basically dragging on the putting green. I'm going to show you just a few minutes here what I'm talking about. But this area right here, it's probably just a little bit higher. I've always had a problem ever since I did this last June, and that would be 2024 June. I took my Kentucky bluegrass out all along here and all down here, and about 2 mower widths, about 40 inches. And I took that Kentucky bluegrass out and extended my putting green. And ever since I did that, I've had this problem right here. I've redone it 3 times and I still have this problem. I can't get this fixed. So it's really annoying me, really pissing me off. So whatever. I'm just mowing it now and just letting it go. So here I'm spraying Tenacity. I'm killing the bent grass to start reshaping my putting green and get my Kentucky bluegrass back in over here. I'm going to do that in a couple of weeks. And you're going to see here, look, here's the Tenacity starting to work on killing that bent grass. See, I did a really large area here. And here's what it looks like last night. This is all dying. So this is a little reseeding I did down in the bottom corner of my new grass seed area. It's starting to germinate. I just did that last week.